We got a loaded show for you today on the Packers Report. Coming up first, the Green Bay Packers dodged a bullet. We're going to throw things back to the summer. I'll explain more what I mean on that in just a couple of seconds. And then we're going to round things out in my favorite way, our Packers Report mailbag, your questions, my answers. You guys get to script and be a part of the last half of the show. And it's my favorite segment we do every single week right here on the channel. My other favorite thing we do every single week are these sub-battles, this time against our Broncos channel at the Broncos Breakdown. And we are on top by 11 subscribers. Well, game day's tomorrow. This is the last day. Let's make sure we're on top by the time it gets here, okay? If you have not joined us yet, subscribe today. Let's beat the Broncos, and then let's beat them again tomorrow. So Keisean, Nixon, Carrington, Valentine. Let's talk about them. Because they've been absolutely balling this season. Okay, Keisean, he's had a little bit more of a roller coaster type season, some really high highs, some really low lows. Obviously, this past Sunday against the Chicago Bears was one of his high highs. And Carrington Valentine, I feel like, has been one of the biggest surprises on either side of the football for the entirety of this season. Like, they're both graded, if you look at the PFF metrics, as top 35 cornerbacks in the league. Who saw that coming? Not me. That's why, it's crazy for me to think back to the offseason. Think back to March, April, May, June, all of the times that we were talking about it, and see the decision that Green Bay made with Jaire Alexander. Like, when you think of what that could have turned into, Green Bay really, really dodged a bullet with that entire situation. And at that time, I'm not going to lie to you, it felt a little bit like it was the wrong choice. Especially because he went to Baltimore and they didn't really even pay him all that much money. You didn't draft a cornerback in the draft. You let Jaire Alexander walk, and I thought, oh my gosh, you're going to go into this season, and your best cornerback's going to be Keisean Nixon. But that was the thing. They had faith in their young cornerbacks. And it's turned out to be a really, really good decision and a really, really good choice. And let's just imagine a world where they do cave in to Jaire Alexander what he wants. Let's just imagine a world that back in May, back in early June, they sign him or reconstruct his contract because that was what the discussions were. Imagine they do that, and then he gets injured again like he did, and now he's not even in the league anymore. He's not playing football in the NFL right now. And that was a guy we had dialogue about pretty much every single day in the summer, a guy that I thought, hey, bring him back, do it for cheap, but still would have cost you just somewhere around $4 or $5 million a year. I wish him all the best. Really incredibly thankful for everything that he did for Green Bay. I hope that whatever he's going through mentally and physically, he gets through it. But at the same time, I think we can sit here in December and realize that this could have been a bad situation, could have clouded this locker room that right now feels like things are going really, really great, would have cost you money. Instead, you saved a ton, and he hasn't really even been on the field anymore. To me, that's a bullet dodged. Are you happy with Valentine and Nixon this season? If you are, do me one big favor. Hit that thumbs up button, like today's video. Show me that you are just as pumped as I am about what they've been able to do. All right, it's mailbag time. Let's get into it. We put a mailbag call out on Tuesday. I said, give me questions, give me hot takes, anything you want to be featured on the show. We're going to start with a guy I don't think we've had on yet. Baseball Addict 19. Good for you, man. What do you think the Packers need improvement on the most? Position, better coaching, maybe refs call more holding. Yeah, definitely I would love a little bit more holding calls from the referees. I think right now, in this year, interior offensive line is probably what I think this team needs the most improvement on. As you guys heard me talk about yesterday, I'm incredibly happy with what Anthony Belton has been for this team this year. He's been phenomenal, more than I ever thought he could be. But Aaron Banks is disappointed a little bit, just given how much you're paying him. Obviously, Elgton Jenkins and Sean Ryan, they've been back and forth at the center position, neither doing incredibly. I think interior offensive lineman is the position I think that needs improvement the most. I love where the running backs are. Obviously, I love where your quarterback is. I guess without Tucker Kraft, maybe tight end. And then maybe, I'm going to say interior offensive line, interior defensive line. That's it. End of story. And also, special teams coordinator Rich Pisacci has got to go. Sports Prods 22, a regular right here. Joey, if we were to lose one game, the rest of the year, who do you think it would be? It's a great question because you got some freaking awesome games coming down the pike. I honestly think it'd be this week at Denver. I feel good about you beating Chicago, even though that's on the road. You just beat them, and that game could have been a lot worse and a little bit more of a what word am I looking for? A gap between the two. Yeah, it would have been a little bit more of a bigger spread of points. Anyway, I can't believe they pay me to talk for a living. Against Baltimore's not playing good football right now, and even though Minnesota just punked the Washington Commanders, they don't scare me. So I'm going to say at Denver this weekend, tomorrow, against the Broncos, that is going to be the game that you could most easily lose. Other than that, I feel pretty good about the rest of the ways you're going down the rest of the season. Which game will be the hardest for Green Bay, do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you think it's going to be Chicago, Baltimore, or maybe even Minnesota? Let me know down below in the comment section. Speaking of tomorrow's game, I'm going to show you my Underdog lineup, okay? Wait a quick second. I promise you, you're going to love it, and you're probably going to want to tell me as well. Underdog's sponsor of today's show. They're the reason you're watching it for free because football season's in full swing, and they are the best place, that is Underdog, to get in on all the action. Let's cut to the chase, right? If you want to score $75 in bonus entries, then download the Underdog app, use promo code Packers Report, and you play your first $5, then you'll score those $75 in bonus entries. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players go higher or lower. Stats like rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, and more. Get your picks right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. Let's talk receptions. I got higher than 2.5 on both Josh Jacobs and Jaden Reed. And for Evan Ingram, because you got to add in something. You can't just do all of one team, your entire lineup. So had to add a Broncos player. I went Evan Ingram higher than 11.5 yards longest reception. Download the app today. Use promo code Packers Report to score $75 in bonus entries. When you play your first $5, that's promo code Packers Report. Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 or older, 19 or older in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or older in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia. And present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing good terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. Up next, Mr. Peabody 8U2. That's a good one. You think the Packers should part ways with Marshawn Lloyd? 2 seasons so far, no play. Yes, it's unfortunate. He's had the injury bug, but we need more durability, and I think he is a bust. I hate giving up on players. I'm going to be honest with you, because there's always the human aspect and human element of the National Football League. Like, they're a human just like you and I are. They just paid a lot of money to play a game at a very high level. All of that being said, you're not paying him much on his rookie deal. He's got such a high ceiling. You see how this kind of rest of this week plays out. You see how season. You see how training camp plays out in next summer. And if he goes in an extra year hurt again, then I don't think he makes you have him make the 53-man roster. I think that's when you make the decision. But I don't want to make it anytime soon just because we still do know the ceiling's incredibly high for him. Just can't be healthy. And that sucks. Terrell 9. Joey, I think it's sadly time to let Gary go after this season. Maybe we could trade him for a defensive back. What do you think? Yeah, I would like to see what Rashawn Gary would get on the trade market. The interesting thing about Rashawn Gary is, I'm curious if Lucas Van Ness coming back into the fold is going to help his production throughout the last, 3 weeks of the season, 4 weeks of the season, if Lucas Van Ness does come back and if he is fully healthy. Because, if you think of the first 4 weeks of this year when Lucas Van Ness was out there and Rashawn Gary was playing, then, he was playing really good football. Now, the 8 games since then, he's really, really struggled. So, I would wait to see how he ends out this year and then see what you do after that. But, Mr. Krabs, I believe, Gage, is the last question we got? It is. Romeo Doubs is not even that good. Yes, we need a receiver, but I see people hyping him. I don't think he's that good. Decent, but not good. But, Mr. Krabs, you are just speaking my language. Look, I love Romeo Doubs. I think he's talented. But I have talked since the very beginning of this channel on trading Romeo Doubs. I just thought the wide receiver room was far too crowded, and I thought you still could have got something for him. I thought they should have done it before the season. I thought they should have done it by the trade deadline. And he can give you little bits and pieces every now and then. They're not going to extend it. I can almost promise you that. I'm not saying he's not good. I just think he's that. He's good. That's it. Are you surprised with what's happening with Dobbs? Like the way he's ending this season? Or the fact that he might not even be back next year? Give me a yes or no down below in the comment section. And make sure you got me followed on social media. Twitter, Instagram, and I'm right here every single day. YouTube.com/PackersTV. Hit that sub button and join us.